Ta-da. Finally. Man, stupid camera has a mind of its own. It decides when it wants to be on and when it wants to be off. Makes no sense. I guess it's in a good mood now, and it decided to be on. Thanks, camera. Anyways, welcome to one of the most underrated call-in shows there is, and that's Golden Blue Dude. Yeah. We're getting to 5,000 subscribers. Last I checked, we were 156 away from 5,000. That's crazy to me. I thought it would take us much longer to get to 5,000, but for whatever reason, people like what I'm doing. So I'm pretty excited about that. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm blown away. Blown away. But as I've said before, Golden Blue Dude can't be everywhere. So I need your help to spread the good word and tell people to check out Golden Blue Dude. So I do what I can. Word of mouth, calling people, whatever, and it still works. It may be old-fashioned, but it still works. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And you guys are Golden Blue Dude. I'm just a face and the voice. I'm just some dude out here talking and looking into a camera. Without you guys, there is no Golden Blue Dude. I've already put out one video today, but I'm about to put out another one as we speak while I'm live. And basically, it's another West Virginia video, but on this one, I was actually able to get an interview from West Virginia's sideline reporter. His name is Jed Jennings. It went great, smooth. I'm going to post it on this channel, and I will post it on the Mark Rogers channel. So give me 1 second here, because it's just, you know how some things just happen at the same exact time? Well, I've been producing this particular video for about 5 hours now, and it just now was done and just now ready for upload, and it happened the same exact time as my live show. So yeah, here we go. Hold on guys, hold on, give me 1 second. I promise, won't take long. Let's see. Of course, when I say it won't take long, it probably takes me forever. Nah, I'm just kidding, it won't take me forever. Okay, there we go. Now add one more thing, and I'm done. Let's see. People don't realize that a very important aspect of a video is how you do your thumbnails and descriptions. So I try to put out the best ones there is, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so I might have to change it later just to get this out. Let's see. Alright, I got this. I got this, guys. I got this. Let's see. And one more thing, and we're done. Yep, we're done. Now, upload. It is officially uploading. So, y'all literally saw the uploading process for a Golden Blue Dude pre-taped video. And even more behind the scenes. So, what's going on, guys? Let me know. Call in. Phone line. One phone line. So, if it's busy, have some patience and call back later. And if you don't have the number to the show, all you got to do is email me, refsuck@gmail.com. I think Joey's in the chat, or whatever mod is in the chat. Put that on the chat so people can email me. When you email me, just tell me your name and the phone number you're calling from, and that's it. Your name and the phone number you're calling back from, and we will send back the number to call in to Golden Blue Dude. Simple as that. So if you want to do that, go ahead. Those of you that already have the call-in number, you can call in whenever you want. No problem. It is officially open. I saw Chase the Great. Was it Chase or Nate? I might have read that wrong. It might have been Nate the Great. No, Chase the Great. There's two the Greats? Holy crap, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. But yeah, I saw where he wanted to call. Hey, it's open, man. You can call whenever you want. All right, let's see. Yeah, I saw that where the quarterback for USC transferred to Pitt. I'm guessing that was Slovis. Am I wrong? Because I haven't been able to keep up with what's going on with ESPN today. So somebody let me know on that. Who was it, Slovis or was it another USC quarterback? I'm guessing it's Slovis because Pitt fans are acting pretty excited about it. So yeah, y'all let me in on the loop between USC fans and Pitt fans. I'd really love to be on it. Let's see. I had something for y'all. Oh, I did the video on the conference merging that I think should and probably will happen. What did I do with that? And the problem with the video, the only issue that I had was whenever I did what the mergers would look like, I didn't have time to put the graphics on. So it was tough to visualize that because what happened was I spent like 4 hours on the graphics showing, how conference realignment has already happened. Like from 2001 or 2011 to 2012, 2013, and all that stuff. Is that right? East, west? Yeah, I got it. All right, we're good. We're good. It's poll time. My favorite time. Which of the following players do you feel was the better college player overall? Deion Sanders, Derrick Henry, Bo Jackson, or Joe Burrow? That's a pretty good list. I would actually put Derrick Henry last on the list, though. But number one between Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, and Joe Burrow, that's a tough one. I mean, Joe Burrow had an all-time historic, well, it was broken by the quarterback from Western Kentucky, but he won the Heisman, won the national championship, and broke records. That's tough to top, but when you think back about Bo Jackson, man, that dude, that's a tough one right there. So I will be very interested to see how the votes on that one turn out. That is... Now, if I had to pick, I would probably pick Bo Jackson. I mean, I don't know. He's an all-time great. Yeah, that would be my official vote. If you haven't, please hit the like button. Easy, simple, free. Hits the YouTube algorithm. What does that do? It gets it suggested in more social media platforms and more people come in. So basically, it tells YouTube, hey, get this out there, get some more people in here. So when you hit that like button, you help promote the channel. So if you haven't, please hit that. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would like to support the channel monetarily or financially, there's a little $ button down under the chat. That is a super chat button. Any amount you type in, and of course I will read that comment specifically. Because I'm telling you guys, I've quit my job. I'm done. This is my job now, but the bills don't stop. And buying stuff for the studio actually costs money. So any little donation is greatly appreciated. You can donate through Super Chat, or you can also donate through PayPal. And I have a bonus for those donations right now. If you spend every $5 you spend is an entry to my bowl prediction contest, grand prize $100. There is no deadline, but the later you wait, the less opportunity to gather those wins, because it's whoever gets the most wins. So whoever gets the most wins in my bowl prediction contest wins $100. So the later you wait, the less opportunities you have to grab those wins and win that $100. But it's not too late. Just putting it out there. It is not too late. But I did see this comment. Mountaineer News 2. Hey, are you interested in going to Blacksburg for 2022? Yeah, of course. I'm already going to Heinz Field for a West Virginia game. Even if for some crazy, stupid, miraculous reason West Virginia loses that game, I'm still not going to be too depressed to go to a West Virginia game. I don't. That's just not how I roll. I will go to as many West Virginia games as I can. I don't care if we have a 2-win season. Please don't let us have a 2-win season. But I'm just saying, if we did have a 2-win season, I would still keep going to West Virginia games. So, yes, of course, I am interested. Hit me up. Email is the best way. I think they put my email up. I can't see because of the poll. Hold on one second. Oh, there we go. Anyways, Chase, I thought you said you were going to call in, man. The phone is actually open. Anybody who wants to call in, and if you want to complain about what's going on, you're mad about your team, you're mad about a bowl, you're mad about a game, or you're happy about your team, bowl, game, recruiting, next year, excited, whatever you want to talk about, I'm up for it, as long as it's college football related. And I'll even talk some college basketball. I mean, it's college basketball is in full swing as well. So if you want to talk some college basketball, I'm good for that as well. The second video that I'm posting today, as far as pre-taped, it's got about a minute left, so that's going to be up here in a few minutes. Yes, sometimes I do 2 videos, but always at least 1 video. I'm on a massive streak. The last time I checked, it was, hold on, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Wow, 20 months. Yeah, 20 months straight. 20 months straight without missing a day. A video every single day. Haven't missed it. Even when I had COVID, I still put out those videos. So I'm on a massive streak, and I don't see it anytime soon. And we're so close to 5,000 subscribers, so I'm excited about that. What do Pitt fans think of Slovis? Are y'all excited about him coming to Pitt? Because I know that y'all lost Kenny Pickett, and that was a big blow. And y'all lose a ton of other talent. Do you think, he'll be able to pick up the slack that you'll lose from Kenny Pickett? By the way, the poll is closed, and Bo Jackson did win it. I agree with the chat. I agree with you, chat. Bo Jackson 68%, Joe Burrow with 13%, Deion Sanders 9, and Derrick Henry 9. You know what? I agree with y'all. I 100% agree with y'all. Let me check something real quick, guys. Holy crap. Let's see here. Just got to turn this on. And there we go. And my brother-in-law, said that wrong. He just texted me. He said, "Did you see where A&M had to pull out of the Gator Bowl due to COVID issues and injuries?" I did not see that. Whoa. Is Wake Forest Gator Bowl champs then? Like, how does that work? Texas A&M had to pull out of the Gator Bowl due to COVID issues and injuries. Wow. Thank you, Dawson. If you're watching this, I'm not going to say his last name. I let your first name slip. I apologize. Anyways, thank you for texting me and telling me that right in the middle of a live show. That's what you call breaking news right there. Breaking news. Texas A&M no longer in the Gator Bowl. They have to opt out because of COVID and injuries. We're seeing a COVID spike in the United States. Nobody saw that coming because it's not flu season. Of course that was going to happen. So we'll see what the bowls look like. Man, we might have some. I mean, so what happens now? Is Wake Forest declared Gator Bowl champs? Is there no Gator Bowl? Do they fill that spot with somebody else? Somebody that's in another bowl? And then now we see a whole new shuffling of bowls? Uh-oh. That's not good. That is not good. That is not good. Yikes. That might be the start of a trend. I am now officially concerned. Our bowl menu might be shrunken down to next to nothing. I'm not happy with that news. I understand it. I definitely understand it. But I'm definitely not happy with it. That's terrible. Man. Hold on. So the Gator Bowl, is it... I'm confused how they're going to do that, though. Like, does Wake Forest win the Gator Bowl? Is there going to be no Gator Bowl? Is there now going to be some shuffling for teams for the next team to go up to the Gator Bowl and so on and so forth? I have no idea. That's insane. That is crazy. Not good news. I really hope that's not start of a trend. New poll is up, by the way. Bo Jackson took that poll. Best college player of this list now. Robert Griffin III, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Reggie Bush. I would say between RG3 and Reggie, those would be my two choices. Maybe Cam in there. Sam Bradford definitely last on that list. That's a tough one, guys. That is a tough one. I might have to go Reggie. Yeah, I might have to go Reggie. He was an all-time great. That's a good list though, right there. That's a really good list actually. But yeah, I'm gonna go Reggie on that one. Reggie Bush. I'll be interested to see how that one turns out. Is nobody calling in this evening? Like, okay, so I get messages all the time. Hey, when are you gonna have a call-in show again? It's been a while. I know. I've been busy. COVID. Blah blah blah. Fairly frequently. And now I've had it's either 2 or 3, and a combined of like 2 callers. 2 callers. So, yes, the call-in show is open. You can call in. You've been asking about it, but now you're not calling. So, I'm totally confused. I have no idea what's going on. Welcome to live TV. You never know what's going to happen. Nobody calling in on a call-in show. That's that actually kind of sucks. I was hoping people would call in. Hey, and if you don't have the number, just email me. Tell me your name, the number you're calling from. We'll send you the call-in show number, and boom, you can call in. And whoever calls in now will be the first caller, because I've been promoting this and saying, hey, we're going to have a call-in show, and now nobody calls in. So I guess it is what it is. But we did take a poll last live show, and the question was, would you support a poll-only show? A show where we just did poll after... This could actually work for that type of show. This could be poll after poll after poll. Because y'all did support it. Now, here's a voice. Here's a voice that I knew I could count on if he saw that there was a call-in show. J-Dub, what's going on, man?
Well, I wasn't going to call in because I called in the last time, so I was going to give everybody a chance, and I sat here for 10 minutes and nobody called in.
Right when you called in, somebody's calling in. Would you mind calling back?
Yeah, go ahead. Take this other call. I've been on before.
All right, I do appreciate it, man.
You bet.
Hey, what's up? You're on with Golden Blue, dude.
Sweet Caroline.
Oh, God. Lord help us. Lord help us.
Lord help
So
us
wait a minute. I kicked J-Dub off the line for Talk is Pit. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I'm losing it, man. I'm losing it. But anyway,
hey, we're all losing it. we're all losing it. Pitt fans are losing their mind over the quarterback. You're losing your mind because you gypped your own fan base for a Pitt fan. What's wrong with you?
I know it, man. Life is all twisted up right now, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the number one thing we're arguing about is, who's going to be Kenny Pickett's replacement. Or actually, it's not even that. It's who's going to be our offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Mark Whipple did us dirty.
Yeah, I've looked into his background. He's not a stand-up guy, to be honest with you.
He's really not, and he got mad because Pat Narduzzi straight up said, you're not worth more than $500,000 of this university's money.
Wow. I didn't know that. Hey, hold on one second.
Sure.
I was trying to one hand open the Pepsi, but it kept sliding in my lap. And you know me, I have to have Pepsi or I'll go into withdrawals.
Dude, I'm the same way. I have to have Pepsi or else I'm going to go through some serious, and I mean very rude withdrawals or whatever you want to call it. I have caffeine issues too, so that's the
Hey,
one thing and probably the only thing we have in common.
we should start our own Pepsi group, man. I mean, it's a real thing.
We should.
Oh, by the
I
way,
mean,
there is a new poll up, and it says
let me look.
Reggie Bush took that poll, so called it again. Best college player from this list: Bryce Young, Devontae Smith, Baker Mayfield, Marcus Mariota. That's a good one. What's your opinion on that one? We have Bryce Young, Devontae Smith, Baker Mayfield, and Marcus Mariota.
Well, I mean, you're talking about 3 quarterbacks and 1 wide receiver, so that makes it very difficult.
Yes.
But if I had to pick, Devonta Smith.
Oh, I was close with that, man. I was going to go with Baker Mayfield.
I would have to say Smith, only because Baker Mayfield was good in college, but also at the same time, he didn't have the qualities to cut it at a program that is really not even that good at Texas Tech. He couldn't really do. I mean, now granted, there was that one game between Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
When Patrick went to Texas Tech and Baker went to Oklahoma, I think it was. But I mean, to me, I always thought Baker Mayfield was overrated because if you're not good enough to play at Texas Tech, but then you do good at Oklahoma, is it really that you're that talented, or is it because of Oklahoma is that talented?
Well, on top of that, I do give Baker the benefit of the doubt because Oklahoma's defense was trash with Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. So all three, I do give those three the benefit of the doubt because in those days, I mean, the Big 12 was a running joke as far as defense. As long as you had a great offense, you had a chance in the Big 12. No defense. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a benefit of the doubt for him. But I do see what you're saying. Absolutely.
Yeah, I never really knew who Baker Mayfield was until the draft started coming up because honestly, outside of Pitt football, I really don't give a crap. So
I understand.
I mean, and you probably feel the same way too when it comes to West Virginia. But you're a
Whoa,
little
whoa,
bit
whoa, whoa,
different,
whoa, whoa,
though.
whoa, whoa. You know better than that. Come on, man.
No. What I mean is you really care about West Virginia, but what I was gonna say after that is you're a how should I say this? A sports reporter. So you
No. Sports addict is the right phrase. Sports addict.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. No, wait. College football addict. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. We have to be specific.
I mean, because it's just, the thing is, Baker was only good in college. He will only be good in college. And granted, he's done wonderful things with Cleveland. But Cleveland is still Cleveland at the end of the day. And unless Baker wins him a Super Bowl, he's going to be nobody.
You know what's hilarious? Hilarious? Cleveland thought that, they were going to be the up-and-coming, which they are in some way, and that they were going to take over the AFC North. And then comes Joe Burrow and the Bengals to squash that dream. I think the Bengals are a really good team. And I kind of feel Cleveland's pain. As a West Virginia fan, we've been in that situation where we've been really, really good, really, really good, and then really, really bad, and then close to the national championship, but never the national championship. I mean, look at Cleveland. They've had some really good teams throughout the year, and they've also been really bad at times. And they've been super close to having a Super Bowl, but could never get it done. I do feel bad for Cleveland fans, but it's because I can relate to that. By the way, that poll is now over, and Devontae Smith won 42%, but right behind him, nipping on his heels, Baker Mayfield, 35%, and then Bryce Young, 14%, Marcus Mariota, 7%. So you called that one, but it was a close one.
Well, I said Devonta Smith because that's who I wanted my favorite NFL team to draft last year, which is not the Steelers. I hate the Steelers, and that's the Green Bay Packers. I wanted them to draft Devonta Smith, and actually I wanted Green Bay to draft. Who is your lineman's name? He has a younger brother who's still on the team.
Darius Stills?
Yeah, I think he's in the NFL right now, if I'm not mistaken. The guy
You're
you
correct.
lost last year.
Yep, you're correct.
I actually had Green Bay drafting him, so that can kind of show you that I'm not a delusional Pitt fan, as some of your subscribers over the past couple of days have said.
Well, now I'm really confused. You hate the Steelers?
Yes, I absolutely hate the Steelers, and it is because of the fans.
Oh, okay. New poll up, by the way. And this is the final play in the poll, best college player. Wait a minute. Final play in the poll, best. Okay, for the best college player. Okay, don't stop the polls, but move on from best college player. That would be my suggestion. Here's a list: Mark Ingram Jr., Troy Smith, Carson Palmer, Barry Sanders. I don't like that list.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I don't even like that list. Barry Sanders for sure.
Yeah, I don't like that list because Mark Ingram Jr. I mean, I really don't remember him.
Offensive line. Offensive line is what did it for him, which he did decent in the NFL, but you saw where he benefited from that Alabama beast of an offensive line. Troy Smith was hit and miss. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't he the Ohio State quarterback, Troy Smith?
Yeah.
I would probably say outside of Terrell Pryor, he was probably the worst quarterback I ever seen play football at Ohio State. And I'm only saying Terrell Pryor with respect because I've played against Terrell Pryor in high school. He is not an easy man to bring down by any means. You're talking about a guy who's 6'6", 250, faster than Ben Roethlisberger, stronger than Ben Roethlisberger. But I even said this to Terrell whenever he was younger because he only lives about 25 minutes down the road from me. I even said to him, should play wide receiver. And look what happened. Look what happened. He played for Cleveland and was their leading receiver for 3 years.
Good call.
And look what Cleveland did to him. They let him go.
Yeah.
Then he started beating up on women. I don't really care anymore.
See, I don't understand men that do that. I have no respect, none, for men that beat up on females. That doesn't make sense. Like, that's... Even if you're not taught better, how would you not know that? Like, how does common sense not keep you from doing that? That's insane.
We're both parents. I have a 7-year-old. You have kids too. God forbid something happens to my daughter to the point where some man thinks he has a right to put his hands on my daughter. I don't care if she hits you first. You walk away.
Yeah.
You don't put your hands on my kid. Now, if she's coming after you with like a knife or something like that, that's probably your fault.
Well, here's the thing. If you're in a situation with a female and she's being violent with you and there's no really any way out of the situation, subduing, maybe. Hitting, never. Never, ever. Never. Like, I can't even imagine in my imagination, nothing. I could never imagine doing that. That's insane.
Well, Cleveland has a history of doing this. They have a history of players with domestic abuse. There's a guy who video went viral because his daughter's mother or their kid's mother set one of those nanny cams up in her house to record the physical domestic abuse, and it went viral all over Facebook. And I'm actually in Facebook jail right now because of one of the comments I wrote on that video. The guy literally picks up the lady, punches her so hard and literally throws her into the wall. The TV shatters, all the pictures fall off, and she doesn't move, and he runs out the house.
That's messed up.
I don't have, as much as Pitt and West Virginia fans constantly go back and forth and throw personal things in each other's faces. Well, not all of them, but some of them do.
Yep.
The one thing I will never do is that I won't make a joke about somebody doing that. And usually, if I trash talk West Virginia, it's something you have already heard before.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
So
I've heard it all, man. You already know
look,
that.
both of our programs, besides Pitt this year, and I'm about to gloat on something that's probably going to make you upset. Both of our programs haven't really lived up to the expectation the talent level has brought in. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Oh, wait a minute. Last poll. Winner among winners. In other words, the four names that won the previous poll. This is that final poll for the best college players. So, Devontae Smith, he won his poll. Bo Jackson won his poll. Reggie Bush won his poll. And Barry Sanders won his poll. Who you got there? Devontae Smith, Bo Jackson, Reggie Bush. I'm about to say Reggie Smith. Reggie Bush, and Barry Sanders.
What year did Bo and Barry retire?
From the NFL?
Or what year did they go to the NFL? Like, what year did they graduate college?
I believe Bo went to the NFL. I know it was early 80s. I'm thinking 81, 82, something like that. Barry was kind of sort of around there too, maybe a little bit later. So around the same time.
Well, I wasn't even born until 1989, so those two players are before my time.
Dude, but you should know those names. My gosh.
Well,
I would actually vote Bo Jackson.
I know who they are from, just being a normal football fan. Like, those are two names that were constantly thrown around when I was a little kid. So I know who they are. It's just I don't know who they are, if you know what I mean.
I got you. I would still go with Bo Jackson, man. I think he's the greatest. I would have to think long and hard to think of a better college football player than Bo Jackson. Seriously, he's at the top of my list. So I'm sticking with Bo knows.
None of these players on the list would be my favorite college football player of all time, and not even a Pitt player is my favorite college football player of all time.
Who is it?
That would actually be, it's actually one of my family members. It's my cousin Charlie Scales. He actually went to West Virginia for 1 year and then transferred to Xavier. Now, this is when Xavier had a football program, back when that whole Marshall thing, the plane went down.
I remember that.
So that he ended up graduating from Xavier. He was actually one of the last football players Xavier had. And he ended up getting drafted by the Browns when the Browns were good, before the NFL and the AFL merger.
By the way, it's just Xavier, right? It's not Xavier. It's Xavier.
Yeah, well, it's my accent makes me pronounce it that way, man. You have a Southern accent. I have a half Boston, half New York accent.
I noticed that. Okay.
But I would have to say him only because when I was younger, he used to always tell me stories about his college days and everything, about how different bowl games and whatnot were back then, and how much more college football meant to people itself back then than it does now, because he thinks it just become a political shit show.
Well, for me, my favorite, I don't consider him the best, but my favorite, and people don't realize how old I am. You're going to start realizing whenever I say stuff like this. My favorite college football person, player, whatever you want to call it, Joe Montana. Joe freaking Montana.
You're talking about a Pennsylvania-Pittsburgh kid.
I'm
pretty sure Joe.
Not everybody's perfect. But I do have breaking news, guys. Breaking news. My subscriber count is now at 4,848, so we are now only 152 subscribers away from the big 5,000. That is not very far to go. I think we're going to hit it by the end of the year. So we've gained some more. We're getting there.
By the end of the year.
Yes, we are getting there. We're getting there.
And I even said I'll I'll support you through almost every video that you post, whether it's me trash talking you, which you can mostly count on that, or me just, offering my opinion. Now, there's two things I'm going to say before I get off the line so we can get other people in here.
Okay.
It was the first thing you said way earlier in the live stream about Keaton Slovis coming to Pitt.
All right.
Now, if people knew, that's not the first time a quarterback from USC has transferred to Pitt. Actually, not even in the last 5 years. That's like the third. I can't remember the third guy's name, but the other guy was Max Brown.
Right.
If you know that name.
Yes.
So he came to Pitt and did horrible. Horrible. He only threw for 997 yards.
That's not good.
5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Did he have like injuries or anything, or he just sucked that bad?
I think it had a combination to do with these two things. One, we ran the ball 99% of the time because we were always a running football team. We've only became a passing team when Kenny Pickett got here.
Okay.
We've always ran the ball. Actually, I believe Pitt, if I'm not mistaken, Pitt is the last ACC team to have 2 1,000-yard rushers in a season.
That goes back to Tony Dorsett.
No, it goes back.
No, I'm talking about me remembering Pitt being great at running back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you must have not been paying attention to Quadre Olison or Darian Hall. I mean, because
did they win the Heisman?
I don't even think they were even considered, which was kind of, to me, honestly, Pitt has a history of players getting screwed out of at least being considered for the Heisman. Now, look, I'm a Pitt fan. I'm always going to be a Pitt fan, but even other fan bases thought Kenny Pickett got ripped out of the Heisman. I do not think Bryce Young deserves it. I don't, because Kenny Pickett had more touchdowns, less interceptions, more passing yardage, and more completions. And, if I'm not mistaken, 0.3, 0.4 of a better QBR rating. How the hell does that happen?
I did not even know that. Okay. That's a good argument. That is a good argument.
People are going to say, well, Pitt didn't play anybody. We beat Clemson.
Yeah.
That wasn't easy.
Yep, that's true. I will say losing to Western Michigan hurt you pretty good.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I still don't understand that.
It wasn't like Kenny Pickett that was his fault because he threw for 7 touchdowns in that game.
Right. It was your defense.
The defense was horrible. It was the pass defense that was horrible. The run defense was fine.
Right.
The only bad thing about our defense is we can't cover. But I actually have
a big problem
coming in.
Okay.
But my last question, and I'll answer it whenever I get off, is what do you think about Pitt winning conference title before West Virginia?
As far as going to the ACC and us going to the Big 12?
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it. But, I mean, if we were in the ACC, we would have won it before y'all. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean...
But anyway, buddy, I have to go. I'll let you on. It's actually my daughter, and she's probably going to yell at me for not answering.
Okay, bud. I understand.
But I'll see you later, and good luck on your channel and everything, and good luck in your bowl game.
All right. Thanks for calling in, bud. Anytime. All right, bye. Yeah, me and Talkus Pitt, we get along, and a lot of people can't hardly believe it because he's a Pitt fan and I'm a West Virginia fan. We hate each other's teams. We don't hate each other as a person. We hate each other's teams. So there's a big difference in that. And that's the one thing that I don't understand about certain people is, oh, if you're a fan of that team, then I hate you. What? You don't know that person. You're just associating them with the team that they're a fan of. You can't say you don't like a person just because they're a fan of the team that you don't like. I mean, I live in the upstate of South Carolina, and South Carolina fans and Clemson fans, I mean, they're everywhere. And for the most part, they actually get along. For the most part, they actually get along as people, but of course, they do hate each other's teams. So, people that actually dislike other people that are fans of the team that you hate, that doesn't make sense to me. How can you hate? Now, if it's an actual thing and y'all have met and there was a falling out or something like that, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can understand that as long as it's based on that and not who you pull for. So don't be surprised that I get along with a Pitt fan because as a person, I don't have any problems with him. I just hate the team that he pulls for. That's a fact. J Dub, if you're in the comments section, you can call back, man. Anybody else that has a call-in number to the call-in show, y'all can call in anytime you want. And if you want the number to the show, all you got to do is email me at refsuck@gmail.com. Email me your name and your number, and we will email you back the number to the call-in show. One of my mods, please put in my Gmail so that they can email me. Another poll is up. Best college player of this group: Doug Flutie, Pat White, Marcus Allen, Vinny Testaverde. I would go between Doug Flutie and Pat White, seriously. And I know that it sounds like a homer pick. I realize that. But guys, Pat White 4-0 in bowls. Up to that point, I think somebody has done it since, but up to that point, nobody had ever done that. Nobody. Pat White went undefeated in bowls, including 2-0 in BCS bowls. That speaks for itself. And West Virginia had the highest winning percentage they've ever had in a 4-year span under a starting quarterback under that man, Pat White. But Doug Flutie, man, he was a quarterback too, and he actually won the Heisman. I knew you was going to call back, J-Dub. What's up, man?
Well, let's just get something straight right off the bat.
All right.
Kenny Pickett, in no way, shape, or form, deserves a Heisman Trophy over Bryce Young. Forget it.
What's your argument?
Look at who they played. Look at the moments. Look at the clutch moments that Bryce Young played. And Bryce Young is playing in the national semifinals, and Kenny Pickett led his team to what, 3 losses?
2, I think.
2 losses? Okay,
Yeah.
against who?
They lost to Western Michigan and was it Miami? I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Miami, the team that Alabama slaughtered.
Yep, that is a fact.
Bryce Young threw for over 300 yards and a pile of touchdowns.
Well, that's why whenever Talkis Pitt asked me, hey, how do you like Pitt winning an ACC title before West Virginia winning a Big 12? I'm like, if we would have been in the ACC, since y'all been in the ACC, we would have won like 3 or 4, so I don't feel so bad.
Look, I don't have a problem with Kenny Pickett. I think he's fine. And I think,
yeah, he's a good player, and I think he'll be a good NFL player, too.
I just think if you took the names and you took the teams off of them and you said, here's quarterback A from Team A and here's quarterback B from Team B, and you looked at them and you looked at who they played and what the results are and blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
you'd go, well, okay, wait a minute.
Who else was in the Heisman conversation besides those two?
I'm not disrespecting Pickett. I just don't think he rises to that level. That's just like Aiden Hutchinson. No problem with Aiden Hutchinson. But you compare his stats to Will Anderson,
yeah.
Why the hell was Will Anderson not sitting in New York?
Right. I gotcha.
But we all know this is a glamour. It's a glamour award. It's going to go to a glamour position on a glamour team.
That's a fact.
You're the quarterback at Alabama, and you threw for 4,300 yards and 40-some-odd. I mean,
that's what people are not accepting still. It's not really a bad thing to say. It just is what it is. It matters who the player plays for. It does matter. So that's not a smack on anybody or anything. It's how life works. Sometimes, of course life's not fair, but that's how it is. I mean, if you think it's not fair, go complain to somebody that can do something about it. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about a Pitt player being robbed of the Heisman, Pitt defensive lineman Hugh Green in 1979, I know that's before your time, but it's not before mine. I was in junior high at the time. Hugh Green, as dominant as Chase Young was his senior year,
Hugh Green was the monster. He was Godzilla that everybody was afraid of his senior year, and how he never was seriously considered. That right there, I was like 13, 14 years old, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get it. They're never going to give it to a defensive guy because look at this guy's stats. And, I was like, okay.
I think the biggest letdown for me was Major Harris, and not. I mean, of course, him being a West Virginia player goes into it, but if you go back, he was the first true dual threat quarterback of his time, and you could even see in the national championship once he came out, West Virginia was a completely different team. Like he was West Virginia when he was at West Virginia. They were arguably the best team in the nation in '88 under Major Harris. So I think one of the biggest shams or snubs out there is Major Harris not winning the Heisman Trophy. But then again, this was back when the dual threat quarterback was a new thing, so they kind of didn't know what they were looking at or how to judge it. So I do understand that, but at the same time, I think it's a big travesty. I do think Major Harris should have won the Heisman Trophy. I really do.
He lost to Tim Brown of national champion Notre Dame.
Yeah, and Notre Dame played West Virginia, and Major Harris went down with an injury in the first quarter, and that's why West Virginia lost.
Yep.
And that was probably the deciding factor is West Virginia losing. Well, I don't know. Did they vote before the national championship back then? I'm not
yes,
sure.
they would have.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, I mean, you don't even take that into account, and, the fact that here's this new kind of quarterback where he can run and throw. I don't know. I would have to give it to Major Harris, especially after what we know now, and we see all the dual threat quarterbacks that have won Heisman's since. I think he should have been the first dual threat quarterback to win a Heisman. I really do.
Well, I think to me the Heisman vote that I remember that I thought was completely off, and I mean no disrespect. I mean yes, everybody knows where I am on Auburn.
Yep.
But Bo Jackson beat out Iowa quarterback Chuck Long in the closest vote ever.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, 1985 remains the tightest Heisman vote ever.
Yep.
And Long just had a better season. Bo Jackson played 8 games in Jordan-Hare and won at Legion Field in Birmingham, which I was at and watched him lose. I watched Bo Jackson lose the Iron Bowl to Alabama in both his junior and senior seasons, and I laughed my ass off at him.
I gotcha.
In any event, Bo Jackson, a tremendous talent on loan from God. But
yeah, that used to be a.
Chuck Long had a better season. Had a better season. Not a better career, a better season. But they just weren't going to give it to him because Bo was just such a. Nobody's seen anything like him before. He was just so dynamic.
Did the Iron Bowl used to be a neutral site game? Because you said it was played at Legion Field, or was that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yes. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, they played it at Legion Field. They moved it to home and home. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they moved it to home and away in like sometime in the 90s.
And why did they do that? Was there a reason?
Yes, because Auburn had complained for 30 years that Birmingham was Alabama used to play half of their home games at Legion Field and half of their home games at Bryant-Denny because Bryant-Denny wasn't big enough.
Right.
So all the quote unquote big games for Alabama were in Birmingham, and the other ones were in Bryant-Denny. So the Auburn fans complained and said, "You're basically playing this game where Bama plays half of their home games, conveniently ignoring the fact that the ticket sales were split 50-50.
Yeah, how would you complain if the audience is 50-50 just because they played at that field more? No, that's stupid. And I do agree with Austin L. Randy Moss should have won the Heisman his sophomore year. Absolutely. But the problem with Randy Moss, he went to Marshall. That goes back to who you play for. But I do agree with that. Randy Moss was a freak of nature, and to this day, the biggest sham ever is him not winning the Super Bowl, especially when the Patriots went undefeated. How Randy Moss doesn't have a Super Bowl ring is beyond me. It's crazy. Well, actually, one of the biggest things is he went to freaking Oakland which is where NFL careers go to die right now.
I'll tell you a story about Bo Jackson. I saw him play baseball his senior year, and we were sitting where we never sat. We sat along the first base line, and we were right like 2 rows from the field. Bama versus Auburn, and he hit a little nubber to the third baseman, and he swung so hard he almost screwed himself into the ground. So he was not real fast out of the batter's box because he almost fell over himself.
Right.
But after he took about 3 steps, the rest of the way down the line, and we're sitting so close to the field, you could hear it. You could hear his feet. You could hear his feet. It was thump, 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 boom. And they threw him out by about a half a step.
Oh, he didn't hustle.
And this guy looked like Mr. Universe in a baseball uniform. He was so muscular and so big.
Yep.
And I turned to my roommates and I said, man, if that dude was running at me with a football in his hand, I would just fall down and pray to God he tripped over me. There's no way in hell I would get in front of that.
I would just lean to the side and stick my leg out and see if I could trip him, even though that's illegal. Hey, it's better than getting ran over.
Next at bat. Now, of course, we're talking about aluminum bats in college, so we're talking about a different beast here.
Yep.
Next at bat, he hits a home run to dead center field, which was 404 feet. Over the top of they had this big screen back there that was blacked out so that the sun wouldn't shine in the batter's eyes.
Yep.
And it was about maybe, 30 feet tall. He hits it over that.
Man.
The ball hits the asphalt of the empty parking lot at Memorial Coliseum, Coleman Coliseum.
Wow.
So guess what happens then? Zing! It takes off like a Super Bowl, because it hit the asphalt.
Yeah. Man.
So we're watching, and about 10 minutes later, here's this guy jumping up and down in the parking lot waving. He's run over there and he's retrieved the ball.
Yep.
Somebody from the grounds crew decided that they would take a spray can out there and mark the spot where the ball stopped rolling.
Okay.
Then the next day the student newspaper had it in there.
Did they measure it?
Now, they measured it. They measured it with 100-foot tape back to center field and then 404 feet back to the plate.
Wow.
By the time the ball stopped rolling, it had traveled almost 1,300 feet.
That is insane.
Now, of course,
Wow.
It went like 430 in the air, but I mean,
that's a shot. That is a shot.
It was like it went almost a quarter of a mile before it stopped. Like, holy shit.
I've never heard of that before. Whenever Bo Jackson hit a home run, there was no doubt. When it came off the bat, yep, it's gone. I mean, he hit some monster shots in baseball. That's something that people forget about. I mean, people that hear his name now is, yes, he was a great football player, but my gosh, he might have been a better baseball player.
I can even add to the story, dude. The guy he hit it off of was a young man, young redheaded kid. He was a freshman, starting pitcher. His brother was in the minor leagues at that time for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and his name was Gordy Hershiser.
Ah.
His older brother was future multi-time All-Star, future World Series winner Oral Hershiser.
Yep. I remember Oral.
And I saw Gordy as a junior. Gordy was driving a brand new, I don't know if it was a Mercedes or he had some fancy-ass luxury car.
Yep.
And everybody's like, oh, I bet he got that. I bet the football team bought that, or I bet the baseball team bought that for him. And I said, you know who that is? His older brother's in the major leagues. His older brother bought him that car.
Yep.
With cash out of his wallet. So just because you always see some college kid driving a rich car doesn't mean that the college paid him off. You don't know. He could have come from a rich family. He could have a rich grandpa. He could have had a brother playing pro ball.
Well, now with the new NIL deal, all bets are off. Now they're gonna make a crap ton of money. I'm still wondering how they're gonna police that. I mean, I know there's rules in place, but my gosh, that's gonna be a nightmare to police.
I know this though. I do know this.
Man.
at not the baseball game I'm just talking about, but at a baseball game that spring, we parked right next to this pickup truck, this brown and white F-150 that had more rust spots on it than it did body. But the Alabama tags said Biscuit.
Oh.
Biscuit is the nickname of Cornelius Bennett. And if you don't know who Cornelius Bennett is, I advise you find out in a
Buffalo
hurry.
Bills. Yeah, I remember him.
So he gets out of his truck, and we're like, hey, Biscuit, how's it going? And we chat him up. We're walking into the stadium. We're chatting him up or whatever. He's driving this piece of shit truck. I'm surprised the damn, oil wasn't leaking out of it. Well, the next year, Cornelius Bennett's a first-team All-American.
Yep.
And I pull into the parking lot at the Ferguson Center, which is the Student Life Center on the University of Alabama. And as I'm getting out of my car, in pulls in a crimson IROC Z28 Camaro.
Z28.
License plates Biscuit.
Of course.
And Cornelius Bennett gets out of it. Now, this is the same Cornelius Bennett whose nickname was Biscuit because he was like the youngest of 8 children, and so all he got at the end of the dinner table was the biscuits. Everything else was already gone, so that was his nickname.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Dirt poor family goes from an F-150 to a brand new, sparkling, shiny, crimson IROC Z28 Camaro.
IROC. Okay.
Gets out of it, and he didn't know who the hell I was. I just said, hey, Biscuit, I roll tide. He just rolled, give me a roll tide, and he walked off, and I thought to myself, okay, All-American, new ride. I see how this works.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because old cars.
He didn't get some work study job and buy himself a new IROC Z.
No, people, this younger generation don't know what we're talking about as far as rust on cars anymore because cars aren't made of that, high durable metal like they used to. But man, cars really did used to rust. I remember that very vividly, and it was almost like a badge of honor, It survived the rust. That's how old this thing. Well, I'm going to wrap the show up, man. We're coming up on an hour, and my wife is going to be home soon, so I'm going to wrap it up. But
All right, thanks for taking the call, man.
my favorite story. Hold on. My favorite story that you gave us tonight was the Cornelius Bennett. That was the best one. So I appreciated that.
Well, I saw it with my own eyes. So if any Bama fans out there say we don't do anything fudgy. Well, we might not do anything fudgy now, but we sure as hell did something fudgy in 1986.
Well, fudgy is not fudgy anymore, so I guess you can't say that anymore. All right, man. Well, have a good night, man. And hey, if I don't have a live show before Christmas, Merry Christmas. And he hung up on me. I was trying to get Merry Christmas out to J-Dub, and he hung up on me. I see how it is, man. I see how it is. But no, it's all good. Me and him, we like to get on to each other, but me and J Dub we have respect. We have mutual respect. So, yeah, getting off the live show, about to wrap it up. Wife's about to be home. It's been an hour. Don't forget to tell somebody about Golden Blue Dude because we're at the point where always. Every subscriber matters. But whenever you're this close to a goal, we're trying to get there before the end of 2021. So we need your help. Let's get to 5,000. We are only 152 subscribers away from 5K. So let's do it, and I can't do it without you. So I'm going to get off here, guys. Just in case I don't do a live show before Christmas, I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. Of course, I'll do regular videos, but in case I don't see you on a live show, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side of Christmas. And y'all have a good night. I'll see you on my next live show.